Development projects are facing some of the world's last nomads to shed their way of life. Logging firms have been levelling Malaysia's tropical rainforests and highlands on Borneo Island. And while the government hails economic progress, many indigenous people are fighting to protect their age-old cultures. Divya Gopalan travelled to Baram in Sarawak and sent this report.
Using his blowpipe, Ayat Lerong hunts birds, monkeys and even wild boar to feed his community. But the task is getting harder and harder.
I
don't feel it's right for the loggers to come and destroy our land. I feel very sad. I was happy to live in the forest, but they are scaring away the animals that we have to eat.
The community of Long Nen is trying to survive in one of the few remaining forests in the area. Sarawak is undergoing the highest rate of deforestation in the world. Over 70% of the land the Penan claim has been razed or is earmarked for commercial logging. The Penan have tried to defend their land with blockades, but the sticks and fallen logs they use are no match for the loggers' fleet of bulldozers and trucks. Companies' demands on the forests are growing. They want more logs and more space for plantations. Many Penans are putting blockades back up. They feel it's the only way they can stop the destruction. As the forest disappears, the government has urged the Penan to move to settlements like Long Nen. From afar, it looks idyllic, but as the mist clears, it reveals a life of squalor. Marshy grounds breed mosquitoes and diseases, power is erratic, and there is no running water.
I'm telling this to let you know our suffering. When we first moved here, it was because we obeyed what the government said. But life seems to be better for the previous generations.
The government refused our request to talk about the Penan, who are among Malaysia's poorest people. Living in the jungle, they have no birth certificates, ID cards, or even cash. Malaysia's Human Rights Commission visited Penan communities last year and said they were disturbed by what they found.
Malaysia is rich enough to allocate those resources to over 10,000 people. I do not see why this is not possible to provide the infrastructure, to provide additional resources for preschool and primary school.
There's no transportation, and the nearest town is 4 hours away by logging track. To go to school, the children here will need to be sent away.
I kept all of my books at the school, but when I went back, the teacher wouldn't accept me anymore because we couldn't pay the fees. We have no money.
14-year-old Rini feels the situation is hopeless for her generation, and the village elders are full of anger and despair.
If I was an animal, I wouldn't live here. If I could move, I'd go back to the forest.
Like the forest that they made their home, the Penan have endured for centuries. But the next few years could prove crucial in what has become a struggle for survival. Divya Gopalan, Al Jazeera, Sarawak, Malaysia.